After the massive success of the last video, it is time to fix more blueprints in Theme Park 2, and we're going to be starting with this one. What is this? I was not expecting Dennis to be able to make a layout that's even worse than the standard SLC layout. So let's fix this. And it's going to be a challenge since this thing is built on an extremely small plot. I don't think I'm going to get the skill right, but the main parts of the layout we're going to be able to recreate. And first of all, instead of using the basic editor, we're going to be using the advanced editor. So we start off with a chain lift, which I'm actually going to make a lot more taller than the other ones. This one is just not tall at all. And then we're going to go down like that. I'm going to add a little bit of pivot offset just to make it easier. And well, we're going to just start with this turn right here. And I'm going to try and look at what I'm doing with the layout in the background. Basically, the first thing is just like a very nice, well, tilted turn into the first inversion, which, well, is going to go all the way down like this. This is probably going to go quite quick, actually. Now, I am going to be honest, I am probably not the best person to build this roller coaster, since so far this looks pretty good. All right, well, then we go in our first sea serpent roll. And I'm saying first, yes, he built two of them almost back to back. And this is going to be a real challenge of fitting in, since it's basically half a looping, then a inverted corkscrew, and then another half looping. Well, as you can see, I don't have too much room, so I'm probably going to end up like somewhere under the lift hill, which again is also, I guess, pretty cool. So let's start off with a looping, and this of course needs to be quite big, since the lift hill is also a lot bigger. So we go about, I think, here, and now we start to go to the side. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I have ever made this inversion. So I'm going to be sorry if this isn't perfect, but I think we sort of get the idea of it. It's going to be better than the other one, I guess. So we put this back on 0. Make sure we go about here. To be fair, this actually doesn't look too bad. Now we need to go up again and to the side, and well, I need to look out for this. Uh-oh. This is a problem. That is a problem. Oh no. I have somehow made it that I am exactly under this. No, I can do this better. Yeah, but that's worse, isn't it? I guess I will have to move this inversion over, which means I need to redo this whole turn. Okay, hopefully now I got a little bit more room. Oh my god, this looks very rough. Are you kidding me? Nah, I'm still... Wait, I might do some creative freedom, guys, and do this. Now, I'm not sure how realistic what I'm now going to be doing is, but I guess it kind of works. Not gonna lie, I think that kind of fits. Now, I know the shape is a little different than the position, but it sort of does the same. Now, I'm actually very curious how rough this inversion is. I don't think it's smooth at all. So let's put it on testing and have a ride. It does actually look very cool that the drop goes like under that inversion. It does actually kind of fit. Alright, well, we are now at the top, and this is, okay, clearance is maybe a bit close to that inversion, but oh well. Here we go, the first drop, and that's actually pretty good. Then we have this inversion, which actually, you can definitely tell it's a bit bumpy at sometimes, but we have to keep in mind, it's also an SLC, so it's not the end of the world. The only thing is, I now have to sort of build another one that's pretty much exact the same. But before we have another one of these inversions, I think there's a barrel roll. Like, I am not sure how I'm going to make this realistic. Like, I wouldn't call this human. I think you will pretty much die if you do this. I think this is the only inversion that Dennis made with the advanced editor, and it looks like this. So we need to create that here, and I'm probably going to do that too, but go up a little bit and then do the inversion, just so we're not going to die while riding this coaster. So we're going to go up, and from here on I actually don't really know what I'm going to do. I guess the only thing I can do is just rotate more. So we do something like this, and then go down and angle it to the other side. I guess that is not the worst. At a little bit of... I don't know if this has pivot offset since you're hanging under it. I actually don't think it has. Well, here we go. Let's go then slowly down again. And then we're going to go instantly into the other inversion. I think this inversion is hopefully still a little realistic. It's definitely going to go way too quick through this, but there's not much I can do. But since this is the layout, I need to recreate. And from this point, we are just going to go all the way up again. And while I'm now here, if I'm going to make the same inversion, I'm going to end up all the way on the other side, which I might just do and then just still have the turn and the corkscrew going the other way again. Since, oh no, actually I think this can work. Let's try it. We just have to go up in an inversion again, which is of course the half looping. And this one will have to be a little smaller since we got of course less speed now. It now actually isn't, so let's make that a little smaller. Now it's definitely smaller. I don't know if it's going to go too quick now, but I guess we'll figure that out. I can always change the operations. Cheating a little bit. Okay, let's make that go straight on about a 90-degree angle. And then we have to do the same again while going up. Not this again. Guys, I don't know why, but I think I have something against this chain lift. Since, as you can see right now, where I'm going to end up is here. How did I do that? I guess because the inversion is smaller, I just end up here again. Now, I can try making this smaller, but I think it's just going to go way too fast then through this. I might not have another option, and I would mainly say this is because how Dennis built the layout. This just doesn't really fit, does it? But I guess this works, and now we're just going to, well, finish off the half looping. Alright, well, at least we're now sort of the same layout still. From here, if we look at the other layout, there's an airtime hill. So, well, we're going to be doing that. And that's actually next to the station building, so that's kind of nice. I'm actually probably just going to do like one big piece like this. Since from here, there's another corkscrew, and this coaster has so many corkscrews, guys. Okay, well, we're going to go straight into a corkscrew. And this one is not going to be good, I think. But we can see how far we can get. So let's go straight. Let's make sure we invert. Okay, at least lets me do that. Okay. I would say that's not the worst. It's not the best, but I think it's going to work. I'm going to keep rotating a little bit, since after this we're just going to go in a turn that goes into the block brakes. So let's just add a little bit of the brakes here. I don't know, not too much, just like 3 probably is enough. And that means we just need to finish off the layout. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to create a nice turn that goes all the way to the end. I don't know how much speed we're going to have, and I'm probably just going to actually auto-connect it. That looks pretty good. All right, here we have our roller coaster that, to be fair, doesn't look bad. Now, I don't know how it's going to ride, but I don't think it can ride much worse than the other one. So let's have a look and compare both POVs. I am very curious. That was actually surprisingly good. Of course, it's definitely quite some bumps along the layout, but that's, I would mainly say also because of the coaster type itself. But I would definitely say that is miles and miles better than whatever this is. Especially this inversion is just... I don't even know what to call this. Now that we have successfully transformed this blueprint, let's go to the next one. And for the next one, we have the Wild Mouse Coaster. And if I'm honest, I would actually say this layout is not bad. But it can definitely be improved. It's shorter than the normal layout we have in real life, so I'm probably going to improve that. This is probably, well, one of the better blueprints Dennis made, but that doesn't mean we can try it ourselves. So let's build a station right next to it. Let's go up the chain lift. That's definitely too steep. That seems to be about right. And well, as always, we're going to go up a lot more since, well, we just can. And then we're going to go down, and we are indeed just instantly going to go in a turn to the right. And I'm going to try and build this on the snapping, apart from going down a little bit here so we keep speed. And I think I'm just going to make it like 2 pieces long, and then from here we're just going to make a very sharp turn to the right. Make sure we of course keep going down, and well, we're going to make another turn to the right. And now I have to do this like 4 more times. And I just realized I probably need to make this one longer, since otherwise I don't have enough room for all the layout. So right here I'm just going to add some block brakes. which are probably not going to break at all. Then after that, a small piece, and we're going to go to the left. And I need to make sure I do the same amount as this, so it goes 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, I see. And then right here, we're going to add another block break section. This is mainly just so more trains can actually go on the coaster. And I think we've all done these roller coasters in real life. They are a lot of fun. They're also quite painful, I would say. Now, I actually can't remember if it goes now or later, since this here is, of course, a lot tighter. I think it's normally actually stops here and does the rotate thing. So I'm probably going to do that too. So it's still going to have this sharp turn. And then from here, it's not going to have the sharp turn again, but just a very, I don't know, like this type of turn. And it is going to go down, since we need to go under this part here. But I'm probably going to try and actually, yeah, snap it to the grid. Then for some reason, it just goes normally straight a little bit. And then it goes up and down, like this basically. I think then you have a very small break into one of those sharp turns again, which will go, I think, in more breaks. And then after this turn, we have I think the biggest drop of this whole roller coaster. So let's go down, probably until, I think here. I need to make sure I'm going straight. There we go. Which brings us in another sharp turn with some block breaks. Okay, and then from here it does some weird stuff. So we do actually start with a sharp turn. I'm seeing a pattern with this roller coaster, guys. And instead of it going, it keeps going a little bit, and then it rotates back. Now I see I am probably up a little too much, so I'm going to freely change this layout a little bit and go more down. So I actually have enough room for this, which I think I now have. So right here, you start to have like those two little airtime bumps, or normally you have those in the layout. If you haven't done that, I'm sorry, I can't really tell you what the layout is, but you have an airtime hill here. Now, I have messed up somehow, sort of like the shape or like the size of this, since we're going to go up all the way here. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to be doing that, since for some reason it doesn't fit. I guess mainly because we're just too high up here. So I'm going to make this lower. Now, I know that it means we're probably going to go way too quick here. I think I would have needed to go more down there. Well, I cannot change that anymore. So this is just how the layout is going to be. Then I am just going to add probably some normal brakes to slow down and then go in this turn. Oh god, the coast is falling apart, guys. What am I doing? Then we're adding the block brake section and the very sharp turn, which I'm just going to do on my own. No snapping for this one. Okay, let's see if I can now make this work. And I think actually in real life this goes into like a turn with going up. Well, this wouldn't be a wild mouse coaster if we don't add more block brakes right here, which brings us into the last sharp turn, actually, I think, of this roller coaster, which goes into the last drop, and then, well, it goes up and then it goes down. I think it normally does that. And then we have the normal brakes and I guess block brakes, and then we go on the grid. I guess I can make the station longer and just snap to there. All right, that means if I now place the entrance and exit, the roller coaster layout is now finished. And as you can see, it is a little bit long. It's like one extra like sort of round thing, since here you just go up like what we have all the way here, and then, well, you have the same hill as we have at the end, but just we have the big drop and then you go all the way around. Sort of what you have more in real life. So now that it works, I'm going to make sure it actually makes the end. Okay, well, so far we are actually making it at a pretty good speed, I would say. All right, well, this one works. So let's have a look at the POV. That is actually a lot of fun. I would say it's going pretty good. Apart from maybe this last part where it's going maybe a little slow through it, but it's it's good enough. It's good enough. And I also think it's a better layout than this one. Alright, but that is it for today. I think with these two coasters, they've taken long enough to build. If you want to see another video where I do this, I think we still have like the steeplechase. And I think we also still have like maybe some 1 or 2 other roller coasters. So if you want to see that, let me know down in the comments. And guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe on my channel. And I will say, as always, goodbye.